Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a video of full face of E.L.F products, and I have enough for a complete full face, so I'm really excited. I've already prepped my face, and we're going to go ahead and just get right into the video because my last video was really long and I even trimmed as much as I thought I could. But that one was a really in-depth video. But anyway, let's jump right into it. The first thing we're gonna of course do is prime, and you guys know this is so dirty, but I use it every day. It's the E.L.F Poreless Putty Primer. I absolutely love it. People say it is like a dupe somewhat for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, but I have never used the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I have tested it in Sephora, and I feel like the Tatcha one is kind of more moisturizing, I feel, but I mean they are similar. And then just pushing that into the skin, preparing ourselves for foundation. Okay, that is all good. Now for foundation, I'm going to be using the E.L.F what is this one called? It's a satin finish flawless satin foundation, the E.L.F foundation here, and I have it in shade natural, but I think I got it too dark of a shade, but we're gonna go ahead and try it anyway. And it comes with a pump, which is great. I'm just gonna pump a little bit on my hand and then use I think I'm gonna use the E.L.F. This is really good. It's a little dirty, sorry I haven't washed it yet. This is a really good sponge on a budget. It's $5, and I love this side to like smooth everything out, to get any like brush strokes off of my face or something. And it also has this pointed end that I like to go like, we're gonna be using it for the day. So what I'm gonna do first is just go ahead and pump some out on my hand like this. Mix it up, do a little different than I usually do. And then take a little bit on my sponge and then just start to apply it. Yeah, it's a little dark. I'm not self-tanned at all. This is my natural tan color. I am not tan. I have a very light complexion. This definitely has a, I don't know, I think this definitely has a scent to it, unless that's, I was cleaning today and I might be smelling my hands from cleaning. So because it's a little too dark for me, I'm going to drag it down my face. Let me grab my mirror real quick. And I only pumped out one pump, you guys, and it's kind of going pretty far. Now I would say this is probably medium coverage. It's definitely not a full coverage foundation, and it's a satin foundation, so that means it's not going to be like super matte on you. And I can definitely tell that it is satin finish. I think I have like a bug bite or something right here. It came up last night and started itching. Oh yeah, and it is 80 degrees here today, you guys. 80 degrees, and we are in December. I was like, really? We had some cool weather. It cooled off. Now it's hot. And I'm sorry, you probably can hear my air conditioner, and you can probably hear Handley in the background. It's hot. I can't film without the air conditioner running today, you guys. Sorry. I'm hot. Okay, so I just drag that down the neck so that it kind of matches me a little better, but I probably could have went down a shade. So I'm just gonna look at it up close real quick so I can give you guys my thoughts. Yeah, it's definitely more medium coverage. It is not full coverage at all, so your skin is definitely going to be like, some of your blemishes are probably going to be peeking through. You're not going to get that full coverage. It's already like sinking into my lines, so like my wrinkles and my smile lines. Okay, so that's the foundation. Next we're going to go in with concealer. You guys know I really do like this. This is the E.L.F concealer. Just used this in my last video. I got it in shade Fair Warm. this is the one. I should have picked up a darker shade for this video. And I can't really cover my blemishes up with this because it's so light. I can't do much covering up of the blemishes. And I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with that E.L.F concealer. And if you remember from my last video, if you watched it, this concealer is really good. It's very drying though, so use very sparingly in my opinion, and work fast. Otherwise you're gonna be super creasy and the concealer won't move around very much. I'm gonna take this flatter side here to just blend this up better on my forehead and down my nose. And I'm gonna take it under my eyes a little better. But this concealer, you definitely have to work quick, because it just dries down so fast. That is definitely too light of a shade for me, even me. Even though I'm a light skin tone, I feel like that's still too light, too light. But it does brighten my under eyes. I like to use a light shade under my eyes that's full coverage so that it hides the dark circles that I have. Okay, so our base is good. We're gonna set that with this E.L.F. It's a sheer tint finishing powder. I got it in shade Fair Light. And it looks like this, and it has a little mirror in it. I love the packaging. The silver packaging is super cute, but of course it gets fingerprints everywhere. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on the same sponge and just set my under eyes so it doesn't crease anymore. Because that E.L.F. concealer is so drying, it does crease under my eyes. But if I use it very little and blend it quickly, it doesn't crease as bad. So we just push that powder into to help also set everything. This foundation I feel like is going to get into my smile lines and wrinkles fairly quickly, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and set that as well with this. I'm just setting it with the sponge. I really should probably get my brush, but we're just doing everything with the sponge right now. Just push that into the skin really well. I think I'm gonna take my powder brush here, this big fluffy brush, and dip in there and just set it all over. I feel like that definitely helped lighten that foundation up too. There is definitely, because it says there's a sheer tint finishing powder, so there's definitely a tint to the powder, and I think it helped actually lighten that foundation to where it's more of my skin tone. So that's good. Okay, so now on to we're gonna do eyeshadows. Now I have this, and I actually got this last Christmas holiday, this E.L.F. palette here, but I seen at Target they're selling it again. And what it is it actually has a really pretty mirror. It's huge. And then you've got these shadows here. I believe it's 10. I could be lying. But these come out of the tray. But you've got all of these shadows and then all of these blushes and contouring shades. So it's pretty cool. I mean, for the price too. This is kind of like a banana shade, so I'm actually going to use a little bit of that to set my under eyes. My bad. Just to show you guys kind of how like that banana shade can help brighten your under eyes too. If I can find what brush I want to use. I think I'm going to use this brush. I really need to wash my brushes. It's not really the best brush to use, but okay. But I don't know if you can tell, but that kind of helped my under eye area as well. Okay, so I have this palette. So we've got all of these eyeshadows, And then I also have this E.L.F. Opposites Attract palette. I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use. I may use a little bit of both of the palettes actually. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. So first thing I'm going to do is a big fluffy brush. I'm just going to use this one from my BH Cosmetics Royal Affairs. I don't know what number it is. It doesn't say. So I'm going to first go in with my Opposites Attract palette and use this shade. It's a light tan shade called Fresh, and just using the mirror out of my... I have not been able to play with this E.L.F. Opposites Attract palette very much, so I'm not really sure how these shades perform. I really honestly haven't used either of these palettes very much. Not even the one from the holiday collection that I bought last year. I've just bought so many eyeshadow palettes and played with so many eyeshadow palettes. I haven't went back to the holiday one, so I'm not really sure how either one of these perform. So I guess I'll find out a little bit today. This is a very, very light shade, like just a little bit darker than my skin tone. So, tone. I don't ever say tone. That tone, that's not me, so I don't know where that came from. I really have a lot more difficult time with my left eye. I guess because I don't know. But my left eye, I feel like just is so much harder to do than my right eye. I feel like I have more control on my right eye than when I do my left eye. You may have to build these shades. We'll see. Okay, so next I'm going to go into a deeper shade, and I'm trying to look and see if I want to go in. All right. So we're going to just stick with the Opposites Attract palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade here. I got it upside down. We're going to go in the shade Warm. It's just a darker brown color. Actually, I am. I'm like, and I think I'm going to use I actually just bought these brushes, but this is the M513 from Morphe. Let's see how these perform. I just barely tapped into that warm shade, and I really just want to go into the crease with that shade just to build up the crease area. Okay. Then I'm going to take that big fluffy brush and just blend those two shades in together. That fluffy brush that I was using in the beginning. Alright, so I went ahead and did the other eye off camera. So they're both blended with that warm shade, that warm brown shade. So now I think I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to swatch a little bit. That's such a pretty green color in the palette here, in the holiday palette. So I think I may put this all over the lid, actually. I don't know, that's a little, I don't know if you can see, it's a little bright. I thought it was a little deeper than that. And it's not really a shimmer shade, but it's got like a little bit of a reflect to it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but so I thought I might would use that shade. It looks so pretty in the pan. But then now I'm like debating maybe I shouldn't use that shade. So I think I'm gonna just deepen up the outer corner a little bit more with this Wise color here. Barely tapped into it. Woo! And just taking that on the corner here with the same brush that I used with that warm shade, and just kind of back and forth, packing it in the corner here. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the big fluffy brush again and blend that out. These shadows, not the greatest at blending very well. Okay, it's starting to look better now. You have to be patient. If you buy these shadows, they're good, but they take some time to get them the way you want them. Pigmented wise, they've been really good. I've only been in the Opposites Attract shadows though, so not sure about the holiday palette yet. But so far the mattes in the Opposites Attract palette are good. Like, they're pigmented, but they take some finagling working to get them to look decent. Okay, I'm done working on it. Okay, so let's see if I can do some looks with this I'm gonna try and do a little bit with the holiday palette. So let's see, I'm doing some swatches first. I'm gonna go bold and try a little bit of this green shade. I'm gonna work that green shade just with my finger onto the lid. Oh yeah, it's bright. A lot brighter than I expected. I'm just packing it on with my finger all over the lid pretty much. Then I'm gonna take that Morphe brush and try and do some more blending. And then I'm gonna take that warm shade very, very lightly, taking that warm shade from the Opposites Attract palette right here, just very, like, blowing it off very lightly and going back into the crease. Okay, so sorry, I went ahead and finished my eyes off camera because this took a little bit of work to get this to look like it does. So I did the corners with this Wise shade here with this angled brush here. It just kind of deepened up the corners a little more with that green shade. And then I went into the holiday palette and took this green shade here. I'm gonna swatch it again so you guys can see. It has a little bit of it's not really a shimmer shade, but it has some reflect to it. It's very pretty. But that is what is on majority of my eyelid, and I packed it on with a flat eyeshadow brush, and that seemed to work the best with it, actually better than my finger. Usually the finger works the best when you're packing on shimmer shades, but for some reason it didn't with this. So and then up underneath my eyes, I just went back in with that dark green Wise shade from the Opposites Attract shade. So now we are ready for eyeliner, and I've got this Intense Ink eyeliner by E.L.F. in the shade Blackest Black. And then this is the tip. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's kind of like I believe that's a felt tip. So we're gonna go in, and I think I'm gonna try a wing liner. I'm not sure how well this one is going to apply a wing liner, but we are about to find out. It's gonna be a baby wing, just a little baby wing. And then you guys know I have really wrinkled eyelids, so if the eyeliner doesn't glide very well, then it's not gonna be a very good wing. Doesn't really glide, but I'm not having a problem right now getting a wing, thankfully. So that's that eye. I don't know if you guys can see it. Winged out. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit there. Okay, now this left eye is going to be challenging probably to get it to match. I keep my eye open to do my wing. It just does better for me personally, until I start to draw it back. Sometimes these eyeliners bleed, and I'm scared. I feel like that's what this one's trying to do. I'm gonna turn this away, you guys. Gosh knows I am definitely an amateur at winged eyeliner, because I know they're never gonna look exactly the same. I'm not that good. Okay, so next we're gonna do Gosh, I don't know why I got waterproof length and volume mascara. Why I got waterproof, I don't know. But we're about to go for it. So this is supposed to be lengthen and volume mascara. Oh goodness, I got black all over me. I'm gonna definitely have to clean up my eyes, you guys. So I don't feel like I got length or volume. I feel like I just got a coat. Like, I just feel like it made my lashes darker, which is definitely something I need because my lashes are non-existent without mascara. I just don't feel like it did much of anything though. It didn't lengthen them or give them volume. Let's try and do another coat and see. I don't know. That was second coat, one coat. We'll put a second coat on this one too. And now let's do bottom lash. I really don't like the wand on this either. It's so small and chunky looking. I don't know. Let's see if I can show it to you guys, but see it? It's like, not for me. Okay, so sorry, my battery died, so I had to go charge it. And I did my eyebrows off camera to save some time. And I used the E.L.F. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in shade Taupe. And I also used the Wow Brow in the shade Taupe as well. Really do love both of these products. They're really great and super affordable, so I highly recommend both of these products. And then I did do a little bit of a brow highlight just with this shade in the Holiday palette. And then so all we have to do now is lips, bronzer and blush, and I think we'll be done. So we have all of these we can use for bronzer and blush. I have this contouring, it's a powder palette. These are super cute. They come with a mirror. And then I forgot, you guys, but I've used this I believe in another video, but these are cream blushes. They're so good. I absolutely love this. I use this quite a bit, but since I've already powdered, I'm not going to use them today. But you could probably even put these over powder. I just haven't, I don't know if I've tried that or not. I don't know, but in any case, these are so good. I highly recommend doing the cream blushes if you get a chance. But we'll go ahead and do a powder shade. These blush shades are not really some that I would usually go for, but I think I'm going to use this. But let's bronze first. I'm going to use the contouring palette just because I don't think I've used it. So I'm going to use this, like, I think I'm going to mix these two shades, or actually no, I think I'm going to mix these, maybe mix all three of these, because this is a little too orangey for me. This is too dark, of course, and then these are too light. So I think I'm gonna mix mainly, oh, these have a lot of kickback. So let's just try that and see how that looks together. Oh yeah, that looks good. Bronzing up the face. Mix them again. Do this side. All right, so that is our bronzer. Now we'll go in with the Holiday palette, and we're gonna go in with this kind of a, it's a super pink shade, so I may mix in this lighter shade in with it, so it's not, hopefully it's not very, I'm gonna just use this Wet n Wild brush here. Hopefully it's not too pigmented. Try to do some of that, because if it's very pigmented, it's gonna be too pink, especially with our dark. Yeah, actually I might mix a little darker shade with it to kind of give it a little bit more. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it's not very pigmented, which is good. Very light-handed. Just a little bit of color, which is what I like. Now I'm gonna take this big fluffy brush and just kind of mix the bronzer and the blush in together, because that was too, it could have been too pinky. That could have been a little much. Okay, so if you see, I just got a little bit of flush pink color in my, you know what? I don't have a highlighter. Do I have an E.L.F. highlighter? I don't think I do. But no worries. What we're going to do for highlighter, we will do, there is this shade, and it's actually what I used, like a little bit of it in my inner corner, this low key shade. And it looks white in the palette, but it actually, I'm gonna swatch it. It's not very white, like you can't even hardly see it, but there's a little bit of a pinky reflect in it. So I'm gonna try to just use a little bit of that for highlighter. Get my big mirror out here. Let's try it with my highlighting brush from BH Cosmetics that I have. We're gonna try it. Oh yeah, it does. It has like a little bit of a, I hope you can tell on camera, but it does good for a highlighter. I can't believe I didn't get an e.l.f. highlighter. It's not like my typical what I would use for a highlighter. Like I don't like a lot of pink reflect in my highlighters, but it actually doesn't do a bad job. Okay, now last but not least, we got lips. I have a few different lip products. Look what I just found. My big Morphe fluffy brush. Anyway, okay, so let's see what I got for lips. Actually, first thing I'm gonna do is just put on a little chapstick. This is not e.l.f., it's from Sephora, but my lips are so chapped. Okay, so we've got this e.l.f., what's this called? I don't know, it's an e.l.f. pencil, the one that comes with the little sharpener on the end, and it shows you the color on the, this is the color of it, but I don't know what shade it is. It doesn't say. But then it's like this little pencil thing. Or I have this liquid matte lipstick in the shade Marvelous. Or I have a lip plumping gloss. I think I might do a little bit of the liquid matte lipstick and gloss, even though they're definitely not shades that really match. But we're gonna do mainly the matte shade. Okay, so that's that shade. It's very pretty. I like that shade, especially with that green eye. It looks good to me personally. It hasn't dried down yet, so I'm gonna wait a little bit and see if it'll dry down before I put on that lip gloss. While that dries down, let's go ahead and set the face. I'm using the e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set Spray. I love the mister on this e.l.f. spray. Help that sink all into the skin. Use my face brush to kind of help, and we'll go ahead and take our hair down. I don't have a fan, so I'm using my God-given fan, my hands. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I dyed my hair. I made it more platinum to get that yellow look out of it. All right, I matched my tree. I'm blending in, my hair's blending in with my tree. All right, now last touch and we will be done, and that is, oh, wrong thing, lip gloss. And I'm just gonna put a tiny touch of lip gloss. All right, so that is the final look. Really, I mean, overall it's really cute. It took some work. Like the eyeshadows took me a long time to blend and get the way I really wanted them to look, but overall I really like it. The products that I absolutely think stood out were the brow products. Like those a lot. Even though I didn't use these today, I do use these. I really do like the cream blush palette. These are gorgeous on. They're very pretty. I really liked the eyeshadow palette, but it's very hard to blend. Like I really had to work at getting my eyeshadows the way I like them, but it's not bad. But you know, guys, I love the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Poreless Putty Primer. Say that 5 times fast. I use this every day. The Camo Concealer, I've mentioned it before. It's amazing. You just need to use it sparingly, in my opinion. If your skin type is similar to mine, and I have mainly oily skin, but it does get a little more drier in the winter. So Lip glosses were okay. Mascara, hate it. We'll never buy that again. The eyeliner is okay. It's not my favorite, but it's alright. The holiday palette, like I said, you can still get this even though I bought it last year. I just seen it in my Target, so I know it is still available for the holidays this year, so you can grab that. The setting spray's okay. You guys know I absolutely love my Morphe setting spray. There's nothing that can hold your makeup, in my opinion, as great as that Morphe setting spray. It locks it in place. But the e.l.f. one it's not bad. It does the job. The contouring palette, I'm probably going to have to just play with this a little bit more. I mean, I don't think it did a bad job, but I'm just going to probably use it a little bit more and see if I continue to like it. This sponge is amazing. So if I have to say my top three e.l.f. products that I think you absolutely cannot live without, like you should go buy them, is the primer, the sponge, the concealer. Well, four things. I got four things. You need the concealer, you need the sponge, you need the primer, and their brow products. Their brow products are great, and these products are wonderful. So okay, but that is the end of this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you are subscribed to my channel and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you are notified when I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.